Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. Today revisiting an archetype near and dear to my heart, Sultai Deserts. Updated for Lorwyn, trying out a bunch of interesting 1-ofs, 2-ofs for this list. So we've got a Lewin, a Wistfulness, and a Deceit paired with two Caballero, aka Superior Spider-Man, and a couple of the Oko Lorwyn Liege. Now, I think actually the biggest upgrade really is Requiting Hex for this list over the previously played Stabs. Just answers a lot more things, obviously known quantity. 26 lands today, including a couple Restless Cottages. And then, yeah, not much has changed in the sideboard really, just a little more prepared for what's going on in the meta right now. Gonna hop into some ranked matches here, see if this still holds up. I think the new cards are pretty sweet for this list, just general like mid-range / control tech. So let's see how they play out here. All right, starting out on the draw, pretty solid hand. Our mana is of course quite slow. I'm gonna put them on the looks like it's the Monument to Endurance list. Pretty sweet list. Been popping off quite a lot lately. We have pretty good removal for this matchup, I think. It'll just be a matter of surviving to be able to cast it. Not a super fast start for our opponent, and we did draw another Bitter Triumph, which is pretty nice. I like this list quite a lot. I'm excited to eventually get a playset of Moonshadow for my collection and start testing with it. Iron Shield Elf. Could go a little aggro here and start discarding some Bloodghasts for extra damage. Does not appear to have that. Well, I think it probably makes sense to just kill off the Iron Shield Elf while I can. Take away their options for future turns. Keep them from casting a Monument to Endurance and being able to pay it off. They go ahead and discard a Flamewake Phoenix, fair enough. And a Multiversal Passage. It looks like they're just going to go all in here. Nope, they don't go all in. But they do have a 4/4 Moonshadow now. Okay. Pretty good. We will be able to answer the Moonshadow. It's just a matter of, are we going to die to this Mako / Phoenix over the course of the game? I don't know. We have some turns to play with, right? We could start with, like, cycle this Armadillo to gain some life and then kill the Moonshadow. And then be able to block the Mako with the Green Blade. That's probably pretty good. Let's just start with the Conduit Pylons, I guess. Let's see what the top of our library looks like. Caballero. Caballero to copy Spinewood's Armadillo seems pretty good, but it would mean I'd have to delay cycling this. No, I think I'll just have to cycle it. I'll leave Caballero on top, though, just to keep it in my library. Flamewake Phoenix. Swinging in for a big chunk of damage. Go ahead and Bitter Triumph this Moonshadow. Discard the Winter Night Stories here. Yeah, we gotta cycle the Spinewood's Armadillo. Gain some life. I'm gonna grab... We have double black, so in case we draw a Deadly Cover-Up, we're set for that. I'm gonna grab just an untapped land, I suppose, Conduit Pylons, in case I draw a Deadly Cover-Up. Overgrown Tomb. I don't know that there's any way I survive this. I guess the only out I have in this position with all of these lands in hand is I go like Outcaster Greenblade, Winter Night Stories, and then draw into a Requiting Hex to kill the Mako and gain a couple life. So let's go ahead. I think we also need to lead on Conduit Pylons if we want to do that. Put an Arid Archway in the graveyard. Cast this Green Blade. I'll just grab another Conduit Pylons. Flashback the stories. No requiting hex. Okay. Moving on to game 2. No problem. Bring in our requiting hexes. Bring in our strategic betrayal. Seem pretty good in this matchup. I think we'll skip on the ruinous waterbending, but might as well bring in cease desist. It can snipe things out of their graveyard, like the phoenixes and the bloodghasts, and also clear out, like if they end up with multiple monuments on the board, could be worth casting the desist side. Start by cutting some top end here. I think the worms maybe are a little slow here. They are big, but everything else we have is pretty big too. Oko probably is a little slow, if I had to imagine. And I'm not sure that Lewin does anything in this matchup. Let's run it like that. Alright, game 2, on the play. Ooh, great hand. I mean, it's all interaction. You can't really ask for much more. I think I'm just going to lead on a Festering Gulch here. The mana in this hand's not great. We're missing blue, and I never really particularly like having Arid Archway in my opener unless I'm on a mull to 6 or something like that. Then it's pretty good. Just lead on a Festering Gulch, I suppose. Deadly Cover-Up, probably the best card for us in this matchup, though. Just being able to, permanently get rid of their phoenixes and bloodghasts, or bloodghasts. Bloodthorn Flail. Cease, pretty good draw. I guess Desist also cleans up the flails, huh? Shocks themselves. Iron Shield Elf. Well, Desert Stew, I mean, it happens to be a really, really good answer to their elf, huh? It's probably not worth leaving up. I guess I'll go for the Desert Stew, see if they do anything here, and then I can decide if I want to shock myself to hold up the hex or not. They discard a Bloodghast. Okay, not the end of the world. I guess it could be a good window to play this Arid Archway. I'll just go for the Overgrown Tomb to have more access to colored mana next turn if I want it. Bloodghast in the graveyard. I could have done that at instant speed, just held up the Desert Stew and passed their turn, but I kind of felt like if I do it now, they have a little less information to work with, and I don't know. It just felt right to do it in the moment. And it let me decide whether or not I wanted to hold up the Requiting Hex, I suppose. In a way. Okay. Restless Cottage, not a bad draw. Just kind of looking to play toward this Desist, I suppose. Or sorry, this Deadly Cover-Up. So what I can do, I can just pass, hold up the Requiting Hex, and then when they go to, equip the Bloodthorn Veil to the Tursa to get Ferocious online, just cease the Flamewake Phoenix, basically. We'll just play a tapped Cottage here, pass, and then I can shock into Deadly Cover-Up next turn. I don't have enough evidence, but I will when I cast the Cease, so. CISO. Like, if you remember, CISO, the very short-lived broadcasting network that hosted the My Brother and Me TV show. Knowers will know, but I would imagine not many people will know what the fuck I'm talking about. Monument to Endurance on the field. Okay. Well, I mean, Desist is looking more appealing, but for the sake of tempo, it just makes sense to play for the cease here. Okay. Another Bloodghast in the graveyard. I could respond to this by killing off this Bloodghast, forcing them to... No, probably not. Let's just let this happen. Land draw. Well, I guess we just respond to this by... Since they no longer have the mana now to pay for the Phoenix, I might as well just respond to this and clean up their graveyard. Caballero, okay. I think I'm doing pretty okay. Caballero is not a bad draw. There's nothing in the graveyard quite yet to... Well, actually, Iron Shield Elf is a pretty good hit for the Caballero. We'll take 7, I suppose. I could trade the Hex for 4 life. But I think it's better to hold it for cleanup. Post board wipe. Answers this Restless Vents. Having to shock myself for the board wipe is not ideal with the monument on the field. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to Hex there. Okay, well, Green Blade's actually a really nice draw. Green Blade lets me not have to shock here, essentially. I can just play the Green Blade, grab a blue source, and hold up this Hex. And now I have a target to Blight onto. I think that makes sense to me. Holding up the Hex is a big deal because Restless Vents is a pretty big piece of reach for them at the moment. Getting to trigger the discard and have, just being a menace manland. They fire it up. Well, they might come to regret this. Are they going to try to move the Bloodthorn Veil onto the vents? That's fine. I'll let it happen. I'll let them move it. Oh no, they try to move it onto Tersa. That's also fine. I'd imagine they're going to go for card draw here. Treasure token. Interesting. Moving into combat, let's go ahead and Hex onto the vents and Blight one for a little extra life here. And then we can still block the Bloodghast. I might just jump. I guess not. Maybe. I mean, if they just swing with the Tersa, I might. I'll just block the Bloodghast, though. Go to 9. Kind of a critical life total for them. They play a card. Get the Bloodghast back. Iron Shield Elf. Okay, well, no cards left in hand. Critically. So if I just wipe the board here, they can't protect the elf, and they don't have anything to discard. Like, they'll have no action for this monument next turn, basically. So I might as well swing in. Collect evidence with the cease. Exile their Bloodghasts. Take a look at their deck. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Ba-da-da-da. Exile that stuff. Might as well take a moment to play our Arid Archway. I can just pick up this Festering Gulch for a Surveil here. Skip on a Conduit Pylons. And we're doing pretty well. It might behoove us to go for like a Caballero Tersa. We can filter through our stuff and then possibly be able to like replay lands from our graveyard with the Tersa trigger. I kind of like that. Critically, it lets me like discard these extra lands I have in my hand. Ooh, Strategic Betrayal. Okay. I think I might just shock myself and play a Green Blade too. Pretty big. Kind of just threatens lethal next turn. I also have this Restless Cottage to swing in with. So I guess I don't have to shock myself for the Green Blade. I'm trying to imagine a scenario where they just kill me next turn. It would have to be like hardcast Flamewake Phoenix, discard to equip the Bloodthorn Veil. That's 4 damage plus 3. And then I mean that's just not yeah, I guess that actually does kill me if I shock myself. So and that's not like out of the like that's not a crazy thing to happen, you know what I mean? And I really don't have to shock myself, so I might as well not. See what we hit here off of Tersa. Requiting Hex. Okay. Yeah, I have lethal next turn anyway. I might as well just play this Overgrown Tomb tapped. I could Strategic Betrayal them just to exile their graveyard. Doesn't really seem like there's a reason to do that right now. Pass it back to you. Did you draw your Phoenix? Cycle a Marauding Mako. Okay, well that's 3 damage if they want it. They choose to draw. Inti. Inti's not going to be enough here. Cease on the top. I could just force them to chump with Inti, but I think it's probably just better to Free Strider Lookout and Strategic Betrayal them, because then I also get to hold up this Cease. Take another Restless Cottage here, I think. Swing in with Caballero. There's a Desert Stew. We don't get to cast it. Pass it back to you. And now I can't really imagine a scenario where they get this, especially with the extra life from Cease here. Bitter Triumph on the lookout. Discarding a Flamewake Phoenix. Okay. Redraw. GG. Let's move into game 3 here. On the draw. Gonna be a bit of an advantage for them for sure. I guess we just run it back. We could bring in like a Lewin for early blocks. Go down a land. Nah, just run it back. Alright, game 3. On the draw. Pretty decent hand. I mean, Desert Stew has proven to be quite good here. Don't love to see the Arid Archway, but that's okay. We can reliably turn to Desert Stew if we need to. Otherwise, if they're off to a relatively slow start, I think we can afford to play out an Arid Archway at some point. Bloodthorn Flail, I would consider that relatively slow. Well, Sandstorm Verge is kind of a huge draw, letting us have untapped mana on turn 3. Yeah, pretty excited about the Sandstorm Verge here. Iron Shield Elf. They're not gonna like this. I mean, it's like stab, right? It's a 2-mana stab that scales, but with the increase in Requiting Hex in the meta, interestingly enough, like with Lorwyn Eclipsed, it also brought like the fact that Lorwyn Eclipsed brought Iron Shield Elf meant Requiting Hex is just like how to put this. People are excited to play Requiting Hex because it answers most things, right? Or more things than Stab does, but in doing so, it also weirdly makes Iron Shield Elf, like, really good. But if people were just still on Stab, this card would be unplayable. Another Outcaster Greenblade, that's pretty good. Guess we just pass here. See if I learned my lesson from last time. Like, if they put a Monument to Endurance on the stack, I can just kill it in response, right? Or Moon Shadow, or what have you. Suffice it to say, the Iron Shield Elf is not long for this world. Starting town. Monument. Kill the elf. And they fucking hate this. They hate this. They're seething right now. Absolutely mauling. Deceit. Let's go for an Outcaster Greenblade. It's pretty big. And sets up my Free Strider lookout. Grab a Soured Springs to help support casting Deceit / Caballero. But I think I'm just going to go look out Soured Springs next turn. I could just play another Greenblade. I mean, pretty big. It's going to be swinging for 4 if I want. Case of the Crimson Pulse. Discarding a Bloodghast. Okay. Go for a redraw on the Monument. Do they hit their land drop here? They do. Blazemeyer Verge. Bloodghast on the field. Do they want to go for the Bloodthorn Veil? Marauding Mako. Okay. Pretty good. No Bloodthorn Veil. Well, the nice thing about the lookout is it really starts to open up my mana for future turns, and it blocks decently enough. But Outcaster Greenblade is slightly bigger. Let's go for the lookout here. I think we'll appreciate the mana acceleration. Grab another Soured Springs. So now we have double black and double blue for our Deceit. I could just start jamming. I mean, this is 5 damage. Just hit them. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like they're going to be able to race the Outcaster Greenblade. I know they have a lot of damage, obviously, here, but like 5 damage and then next turn in another, I could just be 10, right? If I like Festering Gulch, hit another desert, and swing with a 7-power Greenblade and another 3. So I am kind of representing lethal next turn with the possibility of like clearing a blocker. Bloodghast can't block. I don't know. I kind of feel like they maybe should have chumped there in retrospect, but obviously they don't really know what they're playing against, so. I also have this Sandstorm Verge to just keep them off of blocks. Shocks themselves. I don't know. I don't know about this line. I don't know. What could you possibly have? Do you have a Shoot the Sheriff in hand? It doesn't. Shoot the Sheriff doesn't kill Outcaster Greenblade or Free Strider Lookout. That's awesome. Mercenary and Rogue for some reason. Iron Shield Elf. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Activate my Sandstorm Verge. It's probably safer to just bounce the elf, right? Stay with double blue. Bounce the elf. Trigger my crime. No hits. That's alright, we still have lethal here. Swing in for 8. GG. Alright, great. 1-0 for Deserts. Let's go. Into the next one. Match 2. Game 1 on the play. It's okay. I'll keep it on the merit of having at least 2 lands with 2 pieces of removal. Should be okay. Playing against my ex-wife. Sarah? Play a Restless Cottage. Forest. Llanowar Elves. I hate this art. Anyone out there using this art? Nah. -2. Escape Tunnel. Nothing against you, Eric Wilkerson. When I look at this card, I don't see Llanowar Elves, you know what I mean? It's like, what are some bastardization. Would love a land drop. Okay, not a land drop. Well, I guess we kill... Actually, I guess what we do is, like... Maybe we just go for a Bitter Triumph on the Llanowar Elves. Or maybe we save the Bitter Triumph for an Ice-Till Explorer. They're going to get 1 land drop anyway, but I get to discard this Rattleworm, which sets me up to hit my land drops for the future. They mill a Mightform Harmonizer. Pretty good for us. Well, there's a land drop for the future. So let's just do that, and then we'll plan to hold up this Desert Stew / Rattleworm. But I can grab the Arid Archway off of the Rattleworm to pick up a land to hit next turn's land drop, you know? Deadly Cover-Up could be good in this matchup. There's a green shell. Okay. Escape Tunnel. Back to me. Well, suppose we go for the Arid Archway here. Let's pick up the Lush Oasis. If we hit an untapped land, I might just Deadly Cover-Up. If I can collect evidence, which actually I don't think I can do quite yet. Pick up the Lush Oasis. Sandstorm Verge. Well, that is an untapped land. It's also a desert, which puts me at 3 deserts, which is not big enough to kill the green shell. But I could play the Free Strider Lookout and hold up Desert Stew for a Mightform Harmonizer. That's probably worth it. Actually, I could... Okay, so if they put Sapling Nursery on the stack here, I could just try to gamble, hit them with a Desert Stew, and try to hit a desert off the Free Strider Lookout. It might be worth going for exactly right now anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. It's a bit of a gamble. If I have a desert in the top 5 here, this will work. Nope. Damn. Hit a swamp, though. Alright. Still, we can cast our Deadly Cover Up next turn. And this keeps them from killing me with a Mightform Harmonizer anyway. Cast the Esper Origins. We dodged a Sapling Nursery, which is kind of huge. And this is a pretty good board for me to Deadly Cover Up. Even if I don't get to collect evidence. Wistfulness. Play a Lush Oasis. Trigger the Crimes. Grab another Lush Oasis to be able to get both modes out of this Wistfulness. I think we just go for a Deadly Cover Up here. They're going to have access to a lot of resources on... I mean, their board is just way far ahead. Might as well reset it. Pass it back to you. Wistfulness looks pretty good against their list. Fabled Passage. Before playing the Earthbender Ascension. Okay. So they've decided they want to Earthbend the passage here. Shared Roots. It's fine. It's all fine. I mean, outside of them having the combo slash... Oh, another Deadly Cover Up. I could just take them off of Mightform Harmonizer, and that, like, effectively gets rid of one of their win cons. It's probably better to just go for the Wistfulness here, though. I think I could cast a Green Blade and a Wistfulness if I grab one of my basics. That's probably pretty good. Still have basics left in my deck, yeah? Okay. Let's do that. Lead on a Green Blade. I mean, it's huge, right? 6/7. Grab an island here. Cast a Wistfulness. Exile the Earthbender Ascension. Draw 2 discard. Pretty huge. Another Deadly Cover Up. Let's just discard this Rattleworm. Feeling pretty good right now. Not a whole lot they can do other than, like, jam a Sapling Nursery exactly next turn. But the fact that they're cracking this Fabled Passage now makes me know... They don't have it. Obviously, they don't have it right now. They would have done it sooner. But that pretty much means there's not really a whole lot they can do. I mean, Green Shell's pretty good, but... Without the Nursery, I don't know. Really doesn't seem like enough. And without a board, you know what I mean? There's a World Wagon. Ooh, my game's getting choppy for some reason. Let it settle for a second. Let it settle. Okay. I think I maybe just go for like a... Do I just go for a Deadly Cover Up here? I mean, I guess if they have the Harmonizer, I just Desert Stew their World Wagon, right? I can't kill them. But I can present some big blockers. Cast a Green Blade. Grab... And grab a Festering Gulch. They probably can't beat one piece of interaction, you know what I mean? Swing on in. They crew up the World Wagon to try to trade with my Green Blade. I'm, like, totally okay with this. Yeah, that's fine. I guess I just pass here. I have enough deserts to kill the green shell with the desert stew, and I don't really want to give up my board. There's another green shell. Well, let's kill the first one, I guess. Keep this from getting out of hand. And then I can just take them off of blockers with my Sandstorm Verge for lethal next turn if they don't like get anything else on the board. They hit a land. Saz's Chocobo. Redraw. I love Fecund Green Shell, man. Bossing say it's going to be too little too late, I think. Esper Origins, and they don't get to recast it, but they do get to gain a little life. And I just get to wipe their board. Yeah. I don't think they're coming back from this one. Use the Rattle Worm here. I might as well go for a Conduit Pylons. I don't think I'm like missing a lethal if I choose to do that. Get a Surveil. Caballero. Okay. Well, Caballero on their green shell is an anthem for my creatures. And then take them off of a block. Do I have enough to Caballero, activate Sandstorm Verge, and fire up the Restless Cottage? Probably not. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's way too much mana. I guess I just like swing out, Deadly Cover Up, Caballero, their green shell. I guess I don't get a redraw off the Caballero. So maybe I just copy my Green Blade or my Wistfulness. Swing in. They chump. Go for a Deadly Cover Up. Exile their Esper Origins. Are they only on 2? That's interesting. See what else they got going on. 1 Archdruid's Charm. Pretty straightforward list. Triple Sapling Nursery. Classic. Okay. And go for the Caballero. I think I'm just going to copy... the Outcaster Greenblade. It's an 11/11, and I can take him off of a blocker next turn. Grab a Soured Springs. And probably should have grabbed Conduit Pylons. That's okay. Let's just hold on to this one. Might form Harmonizer. Well, I can force them to block with the Harmonizer. Well, they swing with the Forest. They can double. Okay. That's fine. And they scoop it up. Great. What do we want here? Cease is not that bad. It cycles. It's a very low investment way to deal with, like, if they end up with a big Earthbender Ascension board in the late game, but early game just snipe a couple of their fetch lands out for very low investment. Strategic Betrayal also pretty decent. Against their list, do we even want the hexes? Negate's kind of interesting. I guess the Cease Desist also hits the Sapling Nursery. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Cease Desist plan. I have a pretty good plan against what they're doing otherwise. Maybe we want a couple negates for late game as well. Cuddalewin. Oko seems decent, but let's just go down to 1. Same with this guy. All of our other cards are like pretty good in this matchup. Let's try it like this. All right, on the draw. Not the best hand in the world, but we're hitting our land drops. If they have like an early Saz's Chocobo play, could be bad for us. Otherwise, I guess we'll see. Lead on a cottage here. We do have a lookout with a desert. I like to see that. Let's just go for the conduit pylons here. Bitter Triumph. Let's leave that on top. Hold up this Cease to take them off of fetch lands from their graveyard. Might Form Harmonizer. Jammin'. Okay, respect. Well, I guess we're just killing that. I mean, there's not much else to be done. I don't really see a reason to discard a card here. Go for that now in case they have any play around that. Go for a Festering Gulch. There's a green shell. Fine. Pretty big for them. Well, I guess we go for a lookout. Not much else we can do. Into a Gulch. It'll Lush Oasis. That's pretty good. Start getting some blue sources involved. We have an answer for a Sapling Nursery, but if they do have like a fetch here, it's pretty detrimental for us. One trigger. Okay, and they just draw, so that's pretty ideal for us. And an Earthbender Ascension. Well, okay, desist. Your time is now. Let's hope they don't get more lands here. Redraw. Huge. No blocks. Deadly Cover-Up. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna Deadly Cover-Up. That's I just have to get the green shell away, right? They're gonna get another land drop. Can I even survive? Like, if I just go for the desist, can I even survive another turn? Like, block the green shell. I take a decent chunk, but then I also get to probably I get to collect evidence on a Deadly Cover-Up to like keep their bossing safe from coming back. So I block here. I mean, if they have another Sapling Nursery though and another land drop, they probably can hit enough lands to like turn on the green shell. I guess what I do, I could like go for a Conduit Pylons first, see if I hit a big enough mana value to collect evidence on my Deadly Cover-Up. That's kind of interesting. I think I just have to go for the Cease here, right? Or sorry, the Desist. Pass it back to you, and then plan to go for the full Deadly Cover-Up next turn. It's not, I don't think either line is particularly great. Might Form Harmonizer. Do you have a fetch? I think if you had a fetch, you would have used it last turn. Ice Till. Ugh. But no fetch in the graveyard, and they probably just... Oh, well, they had the fetch in hand. Okay. So they can produce a board of huge attackers. I'm just going to assume this is lethal. I don't think there's a world in which I can block there. Well, that was close. I guess I could have considered that as an outcome. I don't think I was winning either way in that position, because if I had just wiped the board, they would untap with Ice Till, Nursery, Fabled Passage, all pretty good. Maybe we go up the Strategic Betrayals. It's good removal for like an early Chocobo, and helps keep their graveyard clear in the late game. Cease looked pretty good there. Maybe go down an Armadillo. Not super huge in this matchup. And go down a Negate. One Negate could be good. I'd rather not be stuck with two when it's super awkward, though. All right, like that. Tuck in for game 3. This matchup has been pretty tough for me lately on the ladder. I have some tech I'm going to show off in a future video that I think is pretty good for it. Okay. Well, might as well just lead on a Requiting Hex here. Kill off a Chocobo. Yeah, it's okay. No problem. Blue source for the Caballero is pretty good. We can just like Caballero Spinewoods Armadillo for a Outcaster Greenblade. Well, I'm gonna go with that. For a 4/4 reach ward 3. I don't know how super relevant that is, but it is kind of interesting. Grab a Conduit Pylons here so that we can flash in a Rattleworm next turn. Maybe we can just be the aggro this game. We don't really have any removal to like interact with their big creatures if they land one. But they don't seem to be doing that right now. Play a Pylons. Bitter Triumph. We'll keep that on top. Swing in for 3 here. And plan to flash in this Rattleworm. I kind of think we're doing pretty well then. And if they play a Harmonizer, and we get to like kill it on a future turn and copy it, that could lead to a pretty fast lethal for us. Fabled Passage in the graveyard. Fabled Passage, Surak, okay. Don't really care about that too much. Flash in a Worm. Big. Play a Soured Springs. Swing for 10 here. And then, I mean, if they have Might Form plus Fetch plus like Snakeskin, sorry about that, Snakeskin Veil, what can you do, you know? What can you do? But otherwise, I think there's probably nothing they can do about this board. There's a green shell. That won't be enough. We can also like tutor up our Sandstorm Verge for like a free unblockable. Or sorry, free like, yeah, target creature can't block effect. So we go Bitter Triumph, pay 3 life, kill the green shell. They'll get a redraw. And they scoop it up. Great. Okay, 2-0 with Deserts. Let's head into the final match here. All right, match 3 on the play. Great hand. Love to see it. One of fun of Oko the Ringleader. A card I think it makes sense in this deck as a one of because you can consistently draw 2 off of its +1, and that alone seems pretty good to me. It just makes me laugh that it's like a 25-cent Planeswalker. You don't see too many of those out in the wild. They kind of crack me up every time. Cruel Claw's Heist on me. All right, check it. I mean, not a great hand to Cruel Claw's Heist, to be honest. I have Greenblade or Free Strider on turn 2, or sorry, turn 3. Yeah, I'll just go for a Greenblade here. Grab a Conduit Pylons to be able to cast this Oko next turn. Playing out pretty beautifully. Also, Oko copying the Free Strider, look out for extra crime triggers, or like the Green Blade, it just becomes a big creature. You take the Oko, makes sense. Restless Cottage. Let's play a Soured Springs, I suppose. Actually, it probably makes more sense to play the Cottage. It gives them more information, but I get to start swinging in with the Cottage next turn if I have nothing else going on. I'm going to double Cruel Claw's Heist. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Some kind of Unholy Annex build then. Interesting. Strategic Betrayal on me. Okay. Nothing to be done about that. And just start firing up this Cottage, I suppose. We'll put a Lush Oasis in the graveyard. Probably doesn't super matter what we exile here, unless they're on unless they're on the 5-mana board wipe, of which I have 3 in my deck, and I can never remember the name. Phyrexian Arena, interesting. Extra Unholy Annexes, I suppose. Continue to swing in. Exile a Cruel Claws Heist. I've literally cast it this video, and for some reason I always want to call it Dark Bargain, but it's not. It's destroy all evidence. am I stupid? Phyrexian Arena. Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Kill the Bloodletter, I suppose. I don't know. What are you planning to do here? Kill off the Bloodletter. I'm gonna assume they have removal for my Restless Cottage, but let's make them use it. Quieting Hex. Pretty good. They are kind of dying to the Phyrexian Arena. Plus I have a little extra ping in my hand. Outcaster Green Blade, huh? Alright. Let's just grab another Ping Desert. See if that gets there eventually. Put them to 4. I also have this food to work with. Weird seeing Phyrexian Arena when they're obviously like an Unholy Annex deck. Are they just like, yeah, I want this effect on the board every game. But this isn't quite Unholy Annex. They don't fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. They know I have a Requiting Hex. They are desperate for an Unholy Annex. Intimidation Tactics. No creatures here. Unholy Annex. There we are. But do they also have an answer to this Green Blade? They do have an answer to the Green Blade. Alright. Maybe they turn the corner here. Depends on what we draw here. I mean, if we draw like a Wistfulness, that would go kind of crazy. Spinewood's Armadillo. Jam. Ward 3, by the way. Big enough to kill them. I mean, if they have another Strategic Betrayal, that's obviously pretty good here, but we'll see. Draw more cards, lose more life. Interesting list. Part of it kind of makes sense. I mean, these cards are pretty good right now, I think. Just by the fact that there's a lot of, like, really grindy stuff going around right now. Heartless Act. Cruel Claws Heist. Deadly Cover-Up. There we are. That's what it's called. They take a Deadly Cover-Up. Fine. Duress. They take the Requiting Hex so they can fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary or make a demon here. Caballero, huh? Caballero on their Bloodletter. And then my Desert pings for 2 damage. And then they kind of have to wipe the board, right? They kind of have to wipe the board. They do get to Deadly Cover-Up, collecting evidence. Okay. I guess they exile my Spinewood's Armadillo? Okay, well, they take Caballero. I only have one other one. Not the end of the world. What would we like to draw here? Winter Night Stories? One of our Planeswalkers, maybe? Ritual Chamber. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be tough to come back from this one. Soured Springs. Yeah. I'll give it one more. One more draw. Pretty cool list, though. Verdant Core makes sense to me if you're going for this kind of play, because you need to open up your mana. You have a lot to work, like, you're going to have a lot of material to work with. So it's kind of like good generic ramp to be able to, like, cast a bunch of things in one turn. and resilient to most removal. Pretty sweet list. Definitely gonna bring in Cease Assist. Colossal Rattleworm, not gonna do it. Moving to game 2 here. Let's just bring in like negates and duresses. Cease Assist. Maybe Strategic Betrayal. There's a chance they're on Unstoppable Slashers. Let's go down the hexes. They're just not particularly flexible. Desert's Dew and Bitter Triumph are both fine. I think Lorwyn could be pretty good in this matchup. Keep our Planeswalkers. Go down a Rattleworm. Go down an Armadillo. Green Blades are fine. Free Strider Lookouts aren't that likely to survive here, probably. They're generically very good, though. Just go down the Armadillos entirely, maybe. I don't think we need the extra life gain too badly. Cut a Green Blade. Cut a Rattleworm. Caballero seems kind of good. Cut a Caballero. Try it like that. On the play. Okay. I think this is pretty good. Lorwyn helping us find our third land drop is nice. Outcaster Greenblade, classically quite good. Negate, can't cast that quite yet, but it'll be relevant later in the game, I think. And with all the hand rip that they're on, you're pretty well incentivized to want to keep a full 7-card hand. Lead on the Gulch. If they tactics, they might take the Lorwyn here. It's fine. I don't know. Long term, like, these two are going to put in much more work and be more threatening, but they could go for the play where they're trying to not deny my third land drop. I am playing, I don't know, there are 24 lands left in the deck, so could work out. Might not. Just play an Overgrown Tomb. Cruel Claw's Heist. Fine. Overgrown Tomb. Huge. Play a Greenblade. Let's grab, I guess we grab a blue source. Long term, that just kind of makes the most sense. I was kind of thinking about grabbing an Arid Archway to be able to continue to hit my land drops. Just going to grab a Lush Oasis. There's a Slasher. Okay. Free Strider Lookout, pretty good draw here. Let's go for the Lookout. Play a Lush Oasis. Trigger the Crime. No hits. It's always weird when that happens. Like, statistically, kind of anomalous. I think I'm just going to play in a block with a Greenblade here. If they play their Bloodletter. If they don't play the Bloodletter, I think I might just take it. There's the Bloodletter. Playing to block with a Greenblade, I suppose. Festering Gulch, kind of a big draw for us here, because we can play the Gulch, trigger our Crime on this turn, grab another blue source here, and then we get to hold up Negate and kill their Aclazotz on their turn. I could just kill off the Slasher, but the Demon's probably a little more important. I guess I'm denying myself the opportunity to swing in by postponing like this, but I think guaranteed Crime trigger on their turn is pretty good. Deal with their Aclazotz. Let's grab a Conduit Pylons here for a Surveil. Skip on a Soured Springs. Hold up this Negate. I mean, you could maybe argue that I'm almost certainly going to be able to negate something this turn. Anyway. Negate the Duress, which would trigger a Crime, right? Strategic Betrayal. What's their last card? Land. Okay, well, I have a huge guy and you don't. Although your guy is kind of huge in a way. I could just grab a Sandstorm Verge to keep them off of blocks for the future. I think I win that race. Play a Sandstorm Verge, pass it to you. They have a Demolition Field, so they can kill my Sandstorm Verge. Interesting. Interesting. They kill the Sandstorm Verge. We do have basics. And they shrink my Green Blade. Caballero, huh? Why, I'd say that's kind of the perfect draw. Kill you? All right, game 3 for all the marbles. Can we have a nice clean 3-0 run with Sultai Deserts? Pretty good updates from Lorwyn Eclipsed so far. We haven't seen Oko Lorwyn Liege do anything else, but Lewin looked pretty good, or at least it would have looked good there. I mean, obviously, like the Caballero Wistfulness Deceit thing has been playing very nicely. Wouldn't mind seeing Oko have its chance in the sun. Just gonna run it back like this, I think. Not a great hand for game 3. No black mana with a duress, but it's also not that. We're gonna hit our land drops for the first couple turns. I think it's okay. Once again, like with all the hand rip they're on, pretty well incentivized to keep a hand. And also, if you're lucky, you just draw a black source anyway. So no problems for us there. Go for a duress. Nab their Unholy Annex. Gonna be more of a problem late game than their Furdock Core, of course. And we have a Desert Stew to deal with a Slasher or... Oh, they draw another Unholy Annex. Okay. Pretty good for them. Duress. Let's just go ahead and jam this Free Strider Lookout. Hope it survives a turn cycle and we can start getting mad value off of it. Furdock Core. Do we survive a turn cycle? Cruel Claws Heist. We do. Okay. Great. Pretty good hand for us here. Might as well go for the Duress, I suppose. Ooh, another Free Strider Lookout. I might as well go for that. Open up our mana bigly. Grab it. Let's just go for an Overgrown Tomb here. And a Soured Springs. Start beating down. They have quite a bit of mana too. Second Unholy Annex. Tap out for an Unstoppable Slasher. It's looking kind of stoppable to me. They are draining quite a lot. And go for a Duress here. See what you got going on. Grab a Festering Gulch. Grab a Restless Cottage. That's pretty good. Another way to trigger crimes. 3 lands in hand. Well, might as well just Desert Stew this and start swinging in. We have a second one to kill a demon with. Three lands in hand, kind of huge for us. Negate backup, removal for Ritual Chamber. Another Slasher. They're electing to not make a demon this turn, interestingly enough. They're going to draw a couple cards. I think I'm going to go for the Desert Stew here. Grab a Conduit Pylons. Little Surveil action. And keep a land on top. Guarantee that we hit with our next Lookout trigger. Grab a Lush Oasis. Ping them down to 9. And then they're going to go back up to 13. Draw 2. I go down to 10. I have a Negate in hand if they have any shenanigans. Let's fire up the Restless Cottage here. And they have currently 8 damage on board with this Furdock Core. But I'm going to gain back a little life with this cottage. Exile the Unholy Annex. Conduit Pylons. Conduit Pylons on top, sure. Another Restless Cottage. Let's go for that. I might as well hold on to the Soured Springs. Conceals a little bit of information and guarantees I have a crime trigger for next turn that I don't need to attack for. Could be relevant. I don't know. We'll see. Cruel Claw's Heist. Gifting a card. Do I just let this happen? I guess I get to trigger a crime if I negate this, right? Miss. Fair enough. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Kill all. No. Gift a card. Okay. Sweet. And they scoop it up. Well, I kind of think they kind of goofed on those last couple turns. If they had just made a demon, it gives me a little bit of pause, but I could swing in with 2 Restless Cottages for a pretty big counterattack. They'd go up to 7. They'd have a demon to block with. But yeah, I guess if they don't have any like real removal, my board is just too big. All right, sweet run, 3-0. Loving the Sultai Deserts. A farm-grown classic for me. Once again, didn't really see any action from Oko, Lorwyn Liege. I think maybe we had one opportunity to cast it. And I think it was in the Rakdos Monument game. And I don't think it looked good. I don't really remember how that match played out. I know we won it, but that game specifically where he showed up. Otherwise, he just kind of didn't show up. But everything else played quite nicely. I mean, 3-0. Deadly Cover Up, pretty nice in the meta right now, just being able to like take people off of their Bloodghasts and Flamewake Phoenixes forever, as well as Deceit. It's even relevant in like the control, like the Dimir like Doomsday Demon control matchup, right? It's timeless, baby. And Free Strider Lookout is just such a house. Like if you get to untap with this and start hitting your land drops, you are set for the rest of the game, basically, as far as your mana is concerned. And just being able to like break the symmetry on this by like targeting things on their turn for extra land drops, you just accelerate so quickly. I think maybe there's one valid critique for this list, which is possibly that it lacks card advantage. You could maybe like cut down a Rattleworm and down an Armadillo for extra Winter Night stories, I think, or even like Moraine River Regent, the Coil and Catch is pretty valid here as well. Those are some options you could definitely do if you wanted to be less reliant on just top decking naturally into gas. But as it stands, yeah, it's a sweet lands build for standard. Restless Cottage showing up big here. Yeah, I think every card in our sideboard kind of had its chance to shine, except for maybe Ruinous Waterbending. We didn't really run into any go wide on this run, but if you like this video, I'll be posting standard content every day. This video and the next couple, maybe next 3 or 4, I'm going to be revisiting some of the decks that I had built early on my channel, updated for Lorwyn Standard. So look forward to, I'll be doing like green-white hexproof again, which gets Temple Garden, which is a huge get. And Beseech the Mirror, Beseech tokens with Phoenix Fleet Airship. So subscribe if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, and appreciate you watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.